You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mundi Otieno.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on KUTV Primetime News. You can share thoughts with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. Safety precautions are incredibly important and should always be given the top priority by everyone at their workplaces. The Ministry of Labour is mandated to ensure compliance with the provisions of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 2007 and promote safety and health of the workers. To help improve safety knowledge today, we are joined by engineer Victor Mundi, who is specializing in work at height safety. So, Victor, thank you so much for dedicating your time for this discussion. You may introduce yourself to our viewers. They get to know who Victor is.
Okay, cool. My name is Victor Okello. Certified working at height trainer. I'm a facilitator and assessor.
All right.
Yes.
So right into the discussion. So bring us to speed with occupational safety. What does it entail?
Okay, occupational health and safety primarily focuses on protecting employees, protecting employees in their workplaces, that's from any injuries or harmful hazards here.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, narrowing down to your field of specialization, work at height. Tell us about it. What is it, and generally, what do you do? What does it entail as well?
Okay, working at height basically is these technicians working in full risk positions. This is a certain distance that when a worker falls from that distance, it may lead to personal injuries. So we term it as working at height. It's very wide.
Ah, all right.
Yeah.
Nice. So maybe as a country, where are we with the policies that pertain to the work at height and safety?
Okay, cool. If I look at Occupational Health and Safety Act 2007, we don't have that clearly regulations or policies that directly talks about working at height. So we depend as a country on OSH Act to define for us what working at height is. In some way, if I look at policies in other countries like South Africa, I like reading policies of other countries in terms of like occupational health and safety from other companies. Like in South Africa, if you look at Construction Regulation 10, it talks about fall protection plan. So we have Construction Regulation 10 to A, B, C, D. We have got 5 parts under fall protection plan. So clearly defines what need or what is expected as a worker working at height. But in our country, we think we reached there.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I would rather ask, now that you find there is a gap in terms of policy making for the safety of people working at height, are you probably making moves for the government to address this issue or something?
Yeah, they have. If you look at, for example, occupational safety part number 7, we have got section 63, 64, and 65. They have clearly defined about talk about machineries, lifting, and chain and ropes, about generally lifting and inspection of these equipments. Because workers working at height, they must be fully equipped on how to do these inspections. So they have just stated how the inspection should be done, the criteria, what need to be done, but they've not clearly stated it. What need, they're working at height directly, what need to be put in place. That's why I just said earlier, we depend on OSHA maybe from different countries defining for us what it entails.
Nice. Now, still on working at height, what are the relevant skills required, and probably you could also enlighten us, where can one get to learn these skills to get into the field?
Okay, cool. Just as I said, working at is very wide. Any worker who is working at height, basically we have to reach a certain distance, it's either using a portable or a fixed structure. You need several courses. Like the basic working at height course, we call it for fall arrest. Fall arrest is a basic minimum course for any worker working at height, you know. So you can access a certain fall distance, either use of ladder, you can use pole climbing. For example, those guys who does the work, internet connectivity on the post, because we have some other contractors or maybe service providers that run their internet cables on electricity poles, and these electricity poles are on live. Kenya, for example, in our country, Kenya is not going to switch off the power lines for you to put on your cables. So you have to specialize or tailor these courses to suit the client's needs. So we train pole climbing for working close proximity to power lines. For those who work on maybe on a fixed structure like a tower, we also train them on fall arrest and basic rescue. So in case of fall, this person is competent to be able to perform a rescue or rescue his fellow safely onto the ground. So we also have the guys who work on a tall building, the skyscrapers, the window cleaning. We also have a rope access. Rope access is also very advanced, working at advanced course. We have rope access level 1, level 2, level 3. You see, hiring winch and crane is very expensive. So we have got some other trainings which may cut cost to maybe an employer or an organization. So maybe you want to access the rooftop sites. We have rooftop solutions. So we tailor the courses according to the client's projects or work they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, talking about working at height and probably the health and safety, these teachings, these certifications, because someone may be interested in probably pursuing a career in working at height and probably any other safety and health, certification. So where can these people get, these organizations that offer these services?
I just said, as I said personally, I work for a company called Gravity Group Holdings. Gravity Group is a South Africa-based company. We are leading commercial working at height industry provider. We provide training provider. We have got roots in Africa, in Europe, and Middle East, and also in Asia. So our mandate is to release competent technicians and engineers to work at height. So like if you look at in organizations, it's always, we recommend that an organization must have at least 1 gear inspector. You see, that's one of the course which is very important, because this is a certified individual who is able to do inspections of the equipment and certify this equipment these guys use, and is able to advise the company on the requirements, the database update, all the standards, Then we also need, if any worker working at height, you need to at least train your workers, equip them so that they are competent enough to be able to work safely at working at height. So generally, it's a wide career that I will really encourage people to explore. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities in it, because each and every company must have a gear inspector, must have an advisor, is advising about the standard, the trends in the market, what needs to be in place in terms of health and safety. Yeah.
All right. Now, Vic, I would want you to talk about what the workers who are working at height and probably other safety equipments, operating bigger safety equipments, what do they really need to know? Because in your organization, you are championing for zero occurrence risk incidences. What should they really know at their workplaces?
So, like in organization, we usually talk about fall protection plan. Fall protection plan has got 5 parts. The first part, a fall protection plan developer in an organization should be able to understand what's risk assessment. We talk about medical fitness for the employees. We talk about the trainings program. This person is able to understand which courses suits these employees. We also talk about the gear inspection. So employees, they also must understand what are the criteria for inspection? What do I need to check on my equipment? Because you find, for example, those who work on telecommunication sectors, the guys hosting and antennas, you must also need to know the limit of the equipment they are using, the braking strength of it, because we cannot go into calculation of the braking strength of the equipment, because given for the manufacturer, you need to understand the safe working laws, the maximum weight that equipment can hold before it breaks, because you need to understand what are the weight of the equipment am I lifting, if I'm lifting lifting maybe from 0 to 40 kilogram, we normally teach a course. We have a lifting course. We train the guys how to put up the pulley system, 1-to-1 pulley system, 3-to-1 pulley system. If you're lifting a load between 40 kilogram to 100 kilogram, if you're lifting above 100 kilogram, then you need to mechanical lifting. So these employees or technicians or the engineers, they are well equipped on which pulley systems or which lifting tactics do they need to use to lift a certain weight of this equipment. So then lastly, rescue. So they're also equipped on performing rescues on the other part in case of any injury. So yeah, it's always round training.
Now, Victor, talking about work at height, and probably we could also give it a wider angle. You've been to the project we are having a Safaricom partnership with the government of Ethiopia to provide for them a service delivery on the telecommunications sector. So probably what are some of the opportunities available for someone who might be interested in pursuing a career in working at height, and probably with your experience having been to Ethiopia, what are some of the opportunities that probably Kenyans need to look at on this?
Okay. Working at height, just like any other careers, it depends with the passion. Whatever. Normally I say, whatever you do, you're giving it your best, So just like in working at height, if you are interested in working at height, like if you're working generally in occupational health and safety, working at height is just part in occupational health and safety. Though working at height is also a very wide sector if we look at it, So in Ethiopia, what we basically do, we equipping contractors, we releasing competent technicians before the project starts. Before the project starts, the very first basic foundations is occupational health and safety. So these employees need to be equipped. They need to be trained, relevance trainings. We need to have medicals, certifications examined for this employee. They must be medically fit, We have guys who need to be doing all these things. And someone can say, okay, cool, we need gear inspectors. These equipments must be inspected before any work starts, to just certified, to just ensure they're up to standard, So someone must also be there to give these advices, They must also understand the certification number, the international certification of this equipment, because if someone goes to the market, you just buy any equipment because you want to have the work done, So there must be somebody who is advising which standard is required for maybe this kind of work, For example, for someone working in the telecommunications sector, maybe someone climbing a lattice tower, guy tower, or wherever, you need a full body harness. A full body harness has got 3 EN standards. So we talk about EN 361 or stroke EN 813. So if we don't tell this person, the type of harness you need is EN 3C, you will not understand. You will go to the market and buy any type of equipment you get. Then also you need to tell them the work positioning belt. You need to, this is the work positioning belt, this is how we use it, and this is the certification number we need for such work positioning belt, because they also have got safe working load. They have been certified, tested, they have the weight they must carry, maybe the maximum number of weight someone can use that type of equipment. So we have these guys who need to do this advice for this kind of understanding of the employees or purchases of these equipments on behalf of these companies. For they also need to know the at which stage these equipments expires, because I know the working at IT industries equipments, they are divided into maybe softwares and hardware equipment. So the software equipments, they expires after every 10 years, whether you are using it or you're not using it. The maximum lifespan is 10 years. So if we have someone in the company who keep a check or track of these expiry of this equipment, then we will have totally zero harm or zero incidents of this to our workers. So there's a lot of opportunity. Maybe the contractors, they must have somebody in the company to run all these processes for them, because like as I just told you, Gravity training company, they certify, they give their training, then they tell you what you need to do. Right. Then now it's a work of the contractor to ensure whatever was done or whatever they were taught is implemented as per the standard or as per our SOPs.
Right. Now, Vic, I would wish that we divert our attention from probably working at height and talk about the fact that you've been to Ethiopia. You've seen the project from where they started and probably the level where it is right now, if not for the conflict that we've seen in Ethiopia. What are some of the opportunities you've seen that probably our Kenyan youth could, consider to, find probably greener pastures on the other side?
Okay, that's a tricky question, but honestly, from the countries I've gone to, I would really appreciate the step we've taken as a country. Yeah, that one I will really congratulate the government policies, because if you go outside the country, whatever, I do normally like doing comparison of what's happening in my country and what's happening in our country, But what I can ascertain, the project which is running in Ethiopia, our Kenyan people are really doing so well. Yeah, I'm always very proud when I'm working and someone asking you from Kenya, like the respect you get. Right. And that tells you the skills we take our people to empower those guys from those countries. Like these projects, they cannot they cannot do them alone. We have a lot of Kenyans there. We need these people get empowered before they start running these projects alone. So I'm very happy that our Kenyan contractors picks our guys there to go and do the empowering, sessions to those countries like in Ethiopia. So basically, actually, when the companies within Ethiopia, they also come, they ask us, what, do you have someone in Kenya who can do for me 1, 2, 3? For someone to ask you such a question, it means he has looked someone around, but he did not get that person. Right. So he believes in Kenya's guy that this skills is in Kenya and I can get it in Kenya. Right. And that is a very, very a green light. That is a very, very good sign that we have a lot of opportunities there. All right. Yeah. So as long as you have integrity in what you do, as long as you determine and hard work, so that whatever you're doing, the outcome is can be seen by people, then I think we have right people here in Kenya who can do that.
Very nice. At least you've spoken so well of the kind of knowledge and expertise we are having as Kenyans. Now, probably as we wind up this discussion, I'd also want to leverage on how you've traversed the continent. You've been to South Africa, you've also been to Ethiopia, and probably to Tanzania as well. So I'd wish that as we wind up this, you give a word of advice to the youth and general public on what they need to know in matters pertaining to health and safety, and probably what are some of the projections you are seeing on this career field, and what should they prioritize in the near future, skills that they really need to have that comes in handy in the near future.
Okay, cool. So what I would advise our current young generations, the moment you finish from university, one thing, because we normally have a lot of internship opportunities, but very few will tell you we are paying you. And the mentality we have normally as youth, someone finishes the university and is like, no, boom, I want to be paid this amount of money. So you'll keep on jumping from this organization, you're not giving it your all. So what I would advise for someone from maybe you just finished the university, the very first point you've gotten an opportunity, whether it's paying or not, you give it your best. Give it your best shot. There are a lot of people seeing what you're doing. Yeah, even if it's not your employer, but there are a lot of people outside there who are seeing whatever you're doing, and basically you're not going to stay there for long. You're gonna first of all get that experience first. Then from there you'll be able to sell yourselves, because you got the vast experience you wanted. That if you start looking at in terms of money direction, I think you're gonna lose that focus into your careers. You're not going to give your career the best. So what I will advise our current generation, when you get an opportunity, whether you've been paying 10,000 or 30,000 or even free, first of all, ensure you are subject matter expert in whatever opportunity you've gotten, so that next time you're able to sell your services,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Vic, for that insightful information. And I'd really wish that probably we organize another time you come and talk about this, as probably when you resume the project in Ethiopia.
Exactly.
And many other fields that you people explore on the other side.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate your time for this discussion.
Yeah, that's thank you so much for your time. We can always have discussions also a lot outside here. We have, I can give you maybe our contacts on email. We have, like I just told you, Gravity Holdings from South Africa. We are determined to produce competent technicians, engineers in the field, you asked me the first questions, the importance of occupational health and safety. This one will also reduce the cost, the loss, or maybe reduce the cost of accidents in the organizations. The stress which normally comes with the work will be purely minimized. It also reduces the accidents that normally occurs on site, and reduce the insurance premiums, or maybe lower the insurance premiums that comes with work compensations.
Right.
So we can always have this discussion outside here, and I'll welcome guys to always visit our office. As Gravity Group Holdings companies, we have our partners in different countries. Like in Kenya, we partner with Signal Safety Consulting Company, and we offer a variety of working at height courses.
All right.
Yeah. As Gravity is certified by SETA, IRATA, and Institute of Working at Height.
Right. All right. So thank you so much, Vic, for that. Now it's time we take another very short break here on KUTV Primetime News. In a moment, shall be coming back with more. See you on the other side.